went to school, they used to ask you to write essays and do things about what you want to be when you grew up. And I always wanted to be a steam locomotive engineer because of the trains going through, and I used to take ice cold sealer full of water down the train crew, and they give me a piece of fruit out of their lunch bucket. Yeah. They let me up in the engine, you know, it was hot in there. So then in the early 70s, I read a story about steam locomotives in the Caribbean. So I went to the Caribbean. And I got to ride on them and hung around down there most of one winter, and by God, they let me run them, and I got running steam locomotives, finally. So anyways, I had to earn a living, so I came home, and then I decided to build my own railway so I could have a train to run. That's all it was. It was just because I wanted to be a steam locomotive engineer, so I built a railroad. And it was an unpopular thing to do, boy. A lot of people against me, my own brother, everybody was just down on me. As you read the newspaper articles, there was a lot of people didn't agree with what I was doing. Yeah, so. But I persevered. And built it anyway. Built a whole goddamn track in 7 days flat by hand with all these men. Yeah. Had that old junky old crane there to lift the rails up, and the rest is all these guys spiking by hand, see? All Portuguese guys. We drove down there from Edmonton. Drove all the way to Oakdale, Louisiana. I mean, the thing was in a swamp. I mean, look at it. Mm-hmm. This thing was stranded in this. It was in a building, but it had tracks to it, but you couldn't get there with a vehicle. So we went out there with these big crawler cranes. And once we picked that locomotive up, these cranes, they sunk right down to the top of the tracks. And you can just see everything is stuck in the mud. Look at the cranes are sunk. Low, swampy, Louisiana, marshland. I really and truly did not wish to be identified as a person behind the railroad. And the guys would come down and they used to talk about me, to me, not knowing they were talking about the guy they were talking to. And they say, what's this old guy do for a living? Where's he get all the money to build a railroad and all this stuff? I don't know. I said, I just work here. I never let them find out that I was the guy. And they chased back and forth all one summer between our shop and that park, and they never did talk to me. And I didn't exactly look like the guy that owned the railroad. I was all greasy and dirty and whiskers and oily hats, and I looked like the guy building the track. Just built it. I built a private railway on city land. The doctor.
Yes. Oh, hello there.
Introduce yourself.
May I come down?
Sure.
Hey. My name is Nicholas Davis. I am 13 years old and the first junior volunteer conductor on the train at Fort Edmonton Park.
Nicholas and ones like him are the future of this park and this train. He's an avid train buff, just like I was at his age, and he's a heck of a guy. I just met him today for the first time, and he's going to see a lot more of us, and he's going to get a copy of your sizzle deal. Keep him enthused.
Yes.
Thanks, Nicholas.
You're welcome.
See ya.
You're welcome. See ya.